there. Well,
I killed my boyfriend in self-defense.
Okay, where are you at?
I'm at 12 Meadow Lane, Highland Heights, Kentucky. 41076.
Okay, 12 Meadow Lane. Are you in a house or an apartment there?
It's an apartment. It's apartment suite 10.
Is it Meadow, anything else? Meadow View or something?
No, 12 Meadow Lane. Me and my children in self-defense.
Okay. Tell me again what unit you're in. It's not showing in my computer.
It's 10. It's unit 10.
Okay, you're at 12 Meadow Lane, unit number 10. Okay, hold on. What did you kill him with?
A loaded gun in the house.
Tell me where the gun is right now.
The gun is in the house.
Where at, though, ma'am? Tell me where it's at.
I laid it on the bookshelf.
Where at? Laying on a shelf?
On the bookshelf.
Where are you?
I'm standing about 10 feet from his dead body.
Okay, are you sure that he is dead?
He's dead, ma'am. He's completely dead.
Okay. And how long ago did you shoot him?
I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, not even that long.
10 or 15 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Shayna Michelle Huber.
In Cincinnati, Ohio, to cover the murder trial here of Shayna Hubers. She's the woman accused of shooting her attorney boyfriend, Ryan Poston, 6 times. She says she shot him in the face to give him the nose job that he claimed he needed. The bottom line in this case, opening statements revealed that both the prosecution and the defense have wildly different versions of this relationship between the defendant and the victim. The prosecution painted Shayna Hubers as a manipulative, clingy woman who just didn't get the message that Ryan Poston was no longer interested in her and wouldn't go away after a series of breakups.
And the fact that 3 people turned up today that Shayna Hubers probably would have preferred stayed home. Number 1, Audrey Bolte, none other than Miss Ohio.
Pretty incredible, the fact that they were going to meet the very night that he died. So their plans were they met up on Facebook. They never met in person. They were chatting all up on social media. They had plans to meet up that night. We know from witnesses who testified that Ryan, surprisingly so, was very excited to go on a date with Miss Ohio. And imagine for her for a moment, she shows up to the gas station where they were going to meet, and he never shows up. And why does he never show up? Because he died.
But first and foremost, they're meeting at a gas station because Miss Ohio was running late. And Miss Ohio actually might have come to that apartment to meet him and meet Shayna Hubers.
You must have been thinking, this can't be happening to me right now.
Yeah, he was very, responsive to text messages. I had just talked to him. He said, okay, no problem, see you there.
How many text messages do you think you sent him that night?
I would say I sent probably 2 or 3 to him saying, hey, I'm here, where are you? Are you coming? And he didn't show up, so I went home.
The most shocking piece of evidence introduced by the prosecution last week, Ryan Poston would be going to a shooting range. Shayna Hubers would go with him, kill him, make it look like an accident. That was the text message sent to Christy Euler just 10 days before Ryan Poston was dead. Now Euler had to explain herself in court. Now, Euler recalled numerous messages Hubers sent her. The relationship with Ryan is unhealthy. Ryan caught me going through his phone. I think I want to leave Ryan. But it was that October 1st text about the shooting range accident that sparked this very different exchange with Euler. First the defense, and then the prosecution.
The next day, did you think anything of it?
No.
2 days later, did you think anything of it?
No.
Even 3 days later?
No.
Okay. Because it was a joke?
It was insignificant.
11 days later, when Shayna Hubers put 6 bullets into Ryan Poston, did you think about it then?
I did.
Did it take on a different context then?
Yes.
There was another text message that Euler recalled, one where Hubers said, "My love for Ryan has turned to hate."
She said it was because she struggled with him and acted in self-defense. But that's not what Highland Heights Police Chief Bill Birkenauer said on the stand Wednesday. He pointed to a picture of a kitchen table where nothing was disturbed.
Statement that the gun was on a table and there was some sort of a struggle on that table is clearly there's nothing disturbed on that table. Is it being knocked over or thrown off the table or anything of that nature?
Before that, Hubers and Poston had an on-again, off-again relationship with thousands of postings on Facebook, thousands of photographs, and 50,000 text messages between them, including this one.
It's clear he was trying to end the relationship. He told Shayna Hubers, if you want to tell people that you broke up with me, go ahead and do that. I won't contradict the story.
One posting was that Shayna was cheating on Poston.
That he was very indifferent about it. Said he didn't have the energy to think about it. He didn't want to bring it up to her because she'd show up and then he'd have to talk to her about it. He said that his only concern at that time was family and his career and his friends.
But
What was the defendant saying that she was going to do with Ryan?
She says she's going to go to the shooting range with him.
And what does she say to her friend right after she calls Ryan Poston an evil person?
She says when she goes to the shooting range with Ryan tonight, she wants to turn around and shoot and kill him and play like it's an accident.
And to the cops as well. They said they've never experienced this. They read her rights, and she said she'd like to see a lawyer. So at that moment, they're not allowed to ask questions. She talked for 2 hours, 48 minutes, nonstop. It was like an evening with Shayna Hubers off Broadway. And it is an extraordinary story that she tells of what happened that night. And she dances, she sings, she twirls. She has moments where she is sobbing with no tears. The cops talk about this during the course of our 2-hour show. And as soon as you see the officer leave the room, like a light switch, she goes, and she's just completely normal. It is the darndest thing I've ever seen.
That she admitted to them that she fired the shots without provocation.
Tell the jury what she said about how the shooting took place.
She told me that they were sitting at the kitchen table and he was sitting at the table and he had set his gun on the table, and she picked up the gun and said, "What would you do if I?" And that he smirked at her and she shot him.
Did the defendant tell you that Ryan Poston beat her?
She did at first.
And then what happened?
She changed her story.
Okay, what'd she say then?
That she was the aggressor.
Inside the courtroom where her conviction was handed down, from shirts to shell casings, the physical evidence laid out to see.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Shayna Hubers, guilty of murder under instruction number 3.
Exactly a week ago, 12 men and women making their decision. The less than 2-week trial filled with more than 100 pieces of evidence, now right in front of our lens. 6 times Shayna Hubers pulled the trigger on this Sauer .380 handgun. Pictures from the scene show it nestled on a bookcase. An unspent shell was still inside the chamber. Messages back and forth, perhaps a look inside their minds. This one from Ryan Poston to Hubers. He types, "Stop texting me," straight to the point. Then what he was wearing on that October night 3 years ago. The garments delicately handled, still stained by blood. Bullets tearing through his shirt, his pants painting a grim picture. Prosecutors said all along Poston was seated at this table. Blood on the surface in front of the seat, that wooden chair positioned where it would have been. This all among the stuff presented in trial, the stuff that helped the jury in just 5 hours make up their minds.
Sentenced to 40 years in prison for the brutal murder of her 29-year-old boyfriend, Ryan Poston. But after that conviction, Hubers claimed one of the jurors was a convicted felon and was therefore not qualified to serve on the jury. And yesterday, guess what? A Kentucky judge agreed. He's granting her a new trial.
Inconsistencies between what Hubers said at the Highland Heights Police Department.
I shot him probably 6 times. Shot him in the head. He fell on the ground. He was like laying like this.
And what she's saying now.
Let's talk about the things that you didn't say.
For example, Hubers did not say anything the night of the shooting like this.
I thought that he was going to snap my neck because of the way that he was jerking my head around. And he had all of his weight on me, and he had all of his weight on my body, and he was jerking my head around with his hand in my hair.
I don't believe I said that night, no.
And did you seek medical treatment?
No.
And it was offered to you multiple times, wasn't it?
Yes.
There were other discrepancies and differences in stories as well. So why?
I believe that everything that Ryan had that had ever happened in our relationship between us that was negative was reverberating through the walls of my mind when I made those statements as if they had just happened that day. So things that had happened 6-8 months prior were like they had just happened that day to me. And I think at that time I truly believed those things had just happened that day. Also, putting my clothes on that day was like I had just done it. It's like all these things were in my mind as if they had just occurred.
Dr. Edward Connor recalls the first time he met Shayna Hubers. It wasn't long after she'd shot Ryan Poston, and it was a jailhouse meeting. She couldn't sleep, had nightmares, and heard sounds outside her cell.
She was very distraught. She was depressed. She would vacillate between being very emotional and tearful, and then she would become very subdued and almost flat.
The initial diagnosis was that Hubers was bipolar, but Dr. Connor dug deeper and found
What she reported is that there was some sexual trauma in her childhood.
as that first visit stretched into 8 other sessions over 2 years, more layers in Hubers' life were peeled back.
She had a history of alcohol abuse, and it was in remission because she was incarcerated. Prescription medication abuse.
Hubers' IQ is 125, a national average 100. Dr. Connor says that often led her to becoming self-centered. But when all the testing was done, this was his ultimate diagnosis.
February 8th, I offered the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder.
That, the doctor said, often meant Hubers would speak of herself in the third person, sort of an out-of-body experience.
In combat, veterans sometimes will talk of the mind being outside of the body, watching what the behavior that's going on with the body, but they're still able to think and turn right.
We, the jury, fixed the defendant Shayna Hubers' punishment for the offense of murder at 40 years confinement in the penitentiary.
Shayna Hubers sat silently and showed no emotion upon hearing the recommendation.
In her first interview since those fatal gunshots in October 2012, which police say came at the hands of Shayna Hubers and killed her boyfriend Ryan Poston, Shayna says she's now concerned Campbell County authorities won't let her get married.
We're only contacting you all to make sure that those rights are respected and that this process is not thwarted because of who we are.
It was the summer of 2016, and apparently love was in the air inside the Campbell County Detention Center.
I originally met McBee 2 years ago when I was taken to a recreation yard that was next to Unique Cell. And we just began talking, and that was how it happened.
You did have a quote. You said, "I don't know if anyone will ever want to marry me if they know that I killed a boyfriend in self-defense." But here you are filing a marriage license, which means you found someone.
That's true.
The person she wants to marry? Fellow inmate Richard McBee, who identifies as a transgender woman by the name Unique Taylor.
Conversation, and it just sort of went from there.
Calling me from the detention center, Unique defends their request to marry.
I stand up for my rights, and obviously I'll be standing up for hers.
In June 2018, Shayna Hubers married in Campbell County Jail while awaiting retrial. Shayna and a transgender woman, the one they spoke about in the video clips, the transgender woman was named, the transgender woman's name is Unique Taylor, previously known as Richard McBee. So Unique and Shayna tied the knot, and McBee had previously told the courts from jail that she was transgender and requested to be referred to as Unique Taylor. Now Unique Taylor, was in jail awaiting trial on robbery charges and being they say persistent felony offender, which means that Unique, aka Richard, had multiple felonies. So records show that Unique was a divorcee when she was arrested. Back then, Unique was also facing additional charges of being a fugitive from another state for probation violation. Previously, in 2003, Unique faced federal charges in Tennessee of manufacturing, distributing, and possessing methamphetamine. While discussing Shayna and Unique's marriage ceremony, Campbell County Jailer James A. Daly said, quote, "We had them in two separate little cells where they could hear each other, and that was about it," end quote. He claimed that the ceremony lasted for about 2 minutes, but the two could not touch. And he also quoted, "It's a fundamental right, and if they want to get married while they're in prison, we have to allow it," end quote. However, in January 2019, Shayna filed for divorce from Unique Taylor. I wonder why. I was just about to say, I don't even understand why someone who's in prison for a long time would even get married. You can't even be around each other. And I don't even know if they allow them to speak on the phone or write each other. Yeah, to me, it's not even worth it. Because really, how do you know the person? How can you truly know the person if you can't spend time with them? Court records show that their relationship was irretrievably broken. I wonder why. So Shayna is serving her sentence in the Kentucky Correctional Institution for Women. And that's the only update I see in regards to Miss Hubers. Well, she was definitely a narcissist and someone who couldn't take no, used to not get her way. And that's what I see her whole relationship with Ryan was about. She wanted her way, and how dare he tell her it's over when she's not ready for it to be over. Even though he was ready to move on. He did not want to be with her anymore. It's very similar to Jodi Arias' case, where the same thing, who just couldn't take a no for an answer. She wanted her way, and when Travis didn't want to be involved with her anymore, when he was moving on, she'd rather take his life than to accept that he didn't want her anymore. My heart goes out to the family, because this was just a senseless murder. This was just a senseless tragedy. And unfortunately, Ryan met someone who I believe was dealing with serious psychological issues. And I think definitely more than what was brought out in trial. Oh, may Ryan rest in peace. And my heart goes out to the family, definitely. Such a tragic case. And thank you so much for watching.